Sesame Street. I had a thought, didn't find it on the ground. Do you know where thoughts are found? Very simply said, the thought came from my head. Got it from my head. Thoughts come from your head. From your head. Do down. I had a dream that lying fast asleep down by where the willows meet on the grassy bed. A dream came from my head, got it from my head. Dreams come from your head, from your head. Do I found a song, found a whistling in the rain. I found a song, found it singing in my brain. The song came from my head, right here in my head. Songs come from your head, from your head. Thoughts come from your head, dreams come from your head, songs come from your head, from your head. Come on, sing it. Yay! Welcome. I'm Miss Callie. This is Rabbi Sarah. And welcome on to the stage. Your host for today, Mr. Ed. Yay!
How did you jump scare? Boo.
Yeah, that was very exuberant.
Well, I'm excited. I'm gonna take center stage. This is cool. So today's theme. Anyone guess? We got
Unicorn.
Not John. Unicorns. Thank you. Unicorns. So we are starting off with a song, a very special, wonderful song. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. We all appreciate it. We are talking about unicorns today, which are wonderful, magical, awesome creatures. Okay? We are going to start off by learning some ASL, American Sign Language, some signs. It's going to be lots of fun. So we're going to bring on Mr. Zay. We're going to have our interpreter, Miss Kim, today as well to help us out. So I'm going to move over if Miss Kim wants to take a seat, and Mr. Zay. Thank you, Mr. Zay. Yay! Okay, so we've got some signs, right?
Yeah, we have a big question to start with. Do you remember any signs from the past reading, please? Like last month or months before? Do you remember any of our signs we learned?
What sign are you doing?
Oh, the dreidel.
Dreidel, yes. Dreidel, that's a good one. Good one. Any other signs?
Oh, hair.
Good. Yeah. All different types of hair. Okay. Cool. Good memories.
That's
Awesome.
great that you remembered some of our signs. So we'll start out with like some obvious sign for today because that's our theme. Unicorn. C shape. Unicorn.
Why?
Why? It's a horse with a horn.
Okay.
Another sign, it kind of goes along with unicorn, is imagination. So there's two different signs for imagination or imagine, with the eyes or imagine. Big picture. It's kind of like seeing a picture inside your mind. It's out there.
Yeah, it's like the thought bubbles in the comic books, things like
Yes,
that. Yeah.
kind of that, yes.
Or Sunday comics if you read the paper.
Yes. Our next sign is believe. Believe. It's from your head. Believe.
Okay, cool.
So some of the books we're reading today will have those words in it. So when you hear the word, sign it. And we'll help remember, and then we'll review some more next time for our next book. Unicorn. Imagination. Or imagine. Believe.
I assume we're going to be using unicorn a lot, right? Okay.
Yes, a lot.
A lot. Okay, all right. Well, I feel like we need to just keep going on this unicorn train. You have a book today.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Okay, so you want to tell them the title? Uni the Unicorn. Nope, written by Amy Krause Rosenthal. So it is written by Amy Krause Rosenthal, illustrated by Bridget Barriger. I hope I said it right. He signed it right. I don't know. Okay, all right. In almost every way, Uni was like other unicorns. Unicorns. Okay, look at that. Pretty standard unicorn, right? No. Ooh, okay. Someone said no. She's pretty, yeah.
I said yeah.
Magnificent mane. Though Uni's was extra magnificent. Golden hooves. Uni's were extra golden. Sparkling purple eyes, though Uni's were extra sparkling. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. All right. Like the other unicorns, Uni had a special swirly horn with the power to heal and mend. All right, look at that. I want that unicorn horn. Yeah, exactly. That would be really cool. And like other unicorns, Uni could make wishes come true. Ooh, that's really cool. Wow. But there was one thing that definitely set Uni apart. Look at that. Uni's sitting all alone while the other unicorns are elsewhere. What sets her apart? Uni believed that little girls were real.
What?
That's ridiculous. That's
What?
ridiculous.
Look at that.
No way.
Look at that. She's looking at a picture of a little girl in a book. Just like we read about unicorns, she believes that little girls are real. Who believes little girls are real? Everyone, absolutely.
Not me. I don't believe.
Okay. Uni's friends laughed and said, "Ha, silly Uni. Everyone knows there's no such thing as little girls. They're just make-believe." So imagination, we can use that kind of. At home, Uni's parents just brushed it off with knowing smiles. Look at that, she's getting teased. And her parents over here just smiling. Sure. But Uni was absolutely certain, the little girls were real, no matter what anyone else said. Look at that. She's got all sorts of artwork right there. Watch out. Look at that. She believes. She's painting and all that. Uni knew that somewhere far away, not that far away, but there was a little girl waiting. A strong, smart, wonderfully magical little girl. And she would be the best friend a unicorn could ever ask for. Uni imagined all the things they would do together. Look at that. Kind of in her head a little bit, just all the different things they do together. She believes that little girls are real. There's a smart, strong, wonderful, magical little girl. They would run fast through the meadows. Look at that. That looks like fun. Yeah, it sounds fun too. Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna skip the page. They would spin and swirl through the sunlight. Ooh. All right. They would explore and help forest creatures through the forest. Nice. Look at that. Helping others as well. That would be lots of fun. And other times they would sit quietly and talk about important things. Sometimes just sitting and spending some good time. What important things would they talk about? Probably which fruit was the best. I think that's important. Yeah? Okay. And of course, they would slide down rainbows together. What? That is fun. Oh, I want to do that? Yeah. Uni fell asleep that night and had enchanted dreams. Ooh, of all the different fun things that they would do together. We've got, riding with the little girl, dancing to music, and just running through some flowers. Sounds like some pretty good dreams, right? What Uni didn't know, but would discover soon enough, is that somewhere far away, not that far away, there was indeed a real little girl. What? There's a little girl. There's a little girl. They're real. What? They're real, I know. And even though her friends said, unicorns are just make-believe. And despite her parents' knowing smiles, does that look familiar? Yeah?
I don't know, do you have troll books? They're my favorite.
Oh, trolls are your favorite? Nice. Yeah.
My troll books home.
You'd have to ask your parents.
Mom, can I have this home?
All right. So the unicorn got picked on and laughed at because there were no real little girls. The little girls doing the same thing. That little girl was certain, absolutely certain, that there was a unicorn, a strong, smart, wonderful, magical unicorn. Look at that. The little girl's dreaming about the unicorn. Okay.
Looking at the moon.
Yeah, looking at the moon and the stars. I don't see a moon on there, but it's up there. Looking at the stars. You think they're the same moon and stars? No, not the same moon and stars? Or yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. So just waiting to be her friend. Look at that. Look at that. So the unicorn was dreaming about the little girl, and the girl was dreaming about the unicorn. Do you think they become friends? Probably. Yeah, I like that. All right. All right. Thank you for helping me read the book. You're welcome, Mr. Zay. Thank you very much, everyone. Let's applaud for Mr. Zhang. All right, thank you so much. I will take your book back. Thank you. I really like that book because it shows that we use our imagination and we dream about things to want to make them possible. I really enjoyed that book. All right, well, I am going to leave the stage and give it back up to Miss Callie and Rabbi Sarah. Words are hard, but there we go.
I like thinking about imagining and using our heads to imagine. And so Rabbi Sarah and I picked out a song together that's all about imagining. Now, Rabbi Sarah, would you like to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. So this song is about a very special present that somebody got. And it tells us that sometimes the things that we play with, our toys and other things, don't necessarily have to be something that we see in a store that we've always wanted, because sometimes the most special things are the things that we make up in our own head, things that maybe weren't, that don't tell us this is how you use this thing. So pay attention to the words of the song, and maybe you'll learn something about this very, very special toy. When I was just a wee little lad, full of love and joy, my father homeward came one night, he gave to me a toy. Oh, wonder to behold it was, with many colors bright, and the moment I laid eyes on it, it became my heart's delight. It went and popped when it stopped, and when it stood still, I never
or look like or behave. Wasn't that cool?
Yeah.
Thank you for singing that song with me,
course.
guys. Hi everyone, it's me, Miss Callie, and this is my friend.
Miss Bonnie Violet.
Hi! Oh, today we're in Craft Corner. We're in Craft Corner. Miss Barb's not here, but she taught me how to make this craft. So we're going to make the craft together.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun time.
You're gonna have to show me.
Yes, well, I will. It's all about working together.
All right.
We're gonna have to use our heads in order to make sure the craft looks exactly how we want. I don't know if you know this. I mean, do you know this? Today
Yes.
we're celebrating. Oh, you do.
We're celebrating what?
Unicorn.
Unicorns. Yes.
Unicorns. So we're making the magical horn of a unicorn. Look at that. Ooh, it's kind of like the horn I have on right now. Very good. This one though, let's see here. It's way more sparkly. Ooh, it's very nice. Yeah,
That's cool.
it is really cool. I'm excited to make it with you because not only because it's amazing, but because we're being very imaginative and creative today. Fight.
Is that like that?
Yes, imagination
Or like
or imagination.
Right.
By using a party hat as our starter.
Okay.
And the nice thing about this is that it already has something that we can use to put on our heads. And
It's a
keep
little
it
too
secure.
fat for a horn. Huh?
It is a little too fat. So you could put it on like that, but it would kind of be more like a rhinoceros horn.
Rhinoceros.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's go all of the materials. So of course we have our party hat. And then we also have scissors. Okay. Don't use scissors without adult supervision. And then we also have tape. This is a special kind of tape called tape runner. Very, very helpful. So you can kind of roll it like that. Or just your regular tape. Regular tape's good. And then of course, probably the most important part.
The rhinestones.
Rhinestones. You know a thing or
My
two about
favorite
rhinestones,
things.
don't you, Miss Bonnie Violet?
Yes. yes.
Okay, so this is good. So we can work together on this one. I figured we can try to. I'm not as good at Miss Barb at this. She made a couple for me in case I can't figure it out. But
You can do it.
yes, we're gonna try our hardest. Some things that I learned with crafts is that you might not get it right the first time, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it at all, right?
Right. A lot of art is that way. You have to trust the process.
Yes, exactly. So the first thing I'm gonna do is take it apart, and so this kind of got put together with like a little tab. I think if we just kind of trim the sides, these sides we don't really want to see. If you want to hold it out
Like that?
like that, and then I'll trim from the top. There we go.
Watch your fingers.
So we'll show them over here, yeah. So I'm just gonna cut. We don't want to cut this
Okay,
string.
gotcha.
That's really important that we keep that. Okay. We'll cut that side off.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna trim a little bit because this has like a hole on this side.
Oh, yeah.
I don't really want to see that part, so I'll just cut along the hole right here. Very nice. Thank you for helping me, Miss Bonnie Violet.
You're welcome. Well, hopefully it's helpful.
Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll roll it exactly like that.
Like that?
You got it. Into
Sorry, I
the.
got excited.
No, you know what we were doing, making a unicorn horn.
How tight? Like that?
I think that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you hold it just like that, it's nice to have an extra set of hands when you're doing some crafts sometimes. Because Miss Bonnie Violet's gonna hold, and I will tape.
All right.
Perfect. Okay. Just tape along the seam there. We'll probably use less tape, but
Just like that.
you know me, I want to make sure things are secure. So, more glue, more tape. That's my motto.
More is more, they say.
Yep. Miss Bonnie Violet. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. There's kind of like a hole
Right?
at the top. Maybe we should have done a little bit tighter. But I think these ones that Miss Barb made. Also
We'll just switch it.
Yeah. So
That's the power of editing, right?
yes.
You
And this one is pre-made.
just- right.
Okay. What was I gonna say? Oh yes, we're gonna start put. Let's just put some gems on.
Okay.
I know you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Actually, do you want? I can hold it while you put the gems on.
Okay, what would you suggest?
Well, these ones are really cool. I like these because they come off in strips, and so we can
Oh,
just
I
put
do
a
like
bunch
that.
of them on at one
And
time.
should I do it like at an angle?
That'd be cool.
All right, let's
That'd be cool
try
because it
this.
looks more like a spiral horn that way.
Right.
Yeah. Miss Bonnie Violet, how long does it take to put on all those gems on your face?
These today took about an hour, but
That's a
some
lot.
days they've taken up to 6 hours.
Wow.
But that's when my whole face was rhinestones. You can even see my skin.
That probably takes a lot of time and energy and
Patience.
Patience.
Yes.
Patience. What made you think about doing that the first time?
I don't know. I love rhinestones, and it's like, gotta have more, gotta have more, gotta have more. So it was like, it's pride.
Yeah.
Gotta have the most. So that's what I did.
That's good. That's good.
Should we do another of the same?
Let's do it. Yeah. We can start off where we ended.
All right.
I just really appreciate, you know, the creativity and imagination that comes into coming up with outfits.
I
Like
really like it.
in a book we're gonna read next, that you're gonna read,
Yes, I'm gonna read it.
Manolo and the unicorn. Manolo has to make a unicorn costume.
Yes.
That takes a lot of ingenuity.
It does, but he does it all by himself.
That's true,
'cause
that's
He's
true.
excited about it.
Yeah.
What should we do?
Okay, so we got lots of those. Maybe we should
You
mix
want
it
a
up.
big one?
A big one would be cool.
Where would we put it?
Let's see, maybe towards the top, so
Okay.
it's like really glimmery.
These are the big ones.
Yeah,
Just stick it on the top.
sure.
Over the hole? Nope.
No, that'll be good.
It's a little too big.
Oh, I think it's just fine.
There we go.
That's nice. Put some more on there. Ooh, let's see. I don't know. Maybe some blue ones.
There you go.
Some blue ones.
Will they show up
Or do you
good on
wanna
the
hold
blue?
them? I don't
They
know.
won't.
I think I don't know. Blue's one of my favorite colors. See, I have my fingernails are blue today.
Mine are kind of blue too.
Yeah,
Is it blue kind of day?
it's a blue kind of day. But it doesn't mean I'm sad.
No.
Just means that I like the color blue. Okay.
Got more
Let's
blue
see.
or
Oh,
different color?
oh, see, this pink one came off by its own.
There we go. So
That's
you can
fine.
put as much on there or as little as you want. If you don't like rhinestones, I'm sure you could get like stickers.
Stickers, pom-poms would be really cute.
Those would be cool.
Flowers, like I have in my hair right here.
If you like to paint, you could probably paint it.
Yeah, there's
Getting
lots of different
crazy
ways that we
now,
can
huh?
do it. Yeah, and I like that. I like the creativity that goes into making crafts like that.
Getting wild
It's a
here.
good time. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll mix it up with a couple more purples, and then we'll call it good.
Maybe some on this side here.
Oh yeah, let's get
It's
some
the
purples.
bare spot.
Love
Some
purple. That's Miss Barb's favorite color. Did you know
Purple. Maybe up here.
that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Do you have a favorite color, Miss Bonnie Violet?
It depends on the week. But right now I like lavender a lot.
Lavender.
How about you?
I like lavender too. I really like all the colors. I'm actually feeling orange.
Orange.
Orange is my favorite color right now.
Mine changes a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of fickle.
Yeah.
My mom said. Do you know what fickle means?
Fickle, that means that you change your mind a lot.
Yeah, that works.
Your mood changes.
Mhm. Falling in and out of love.
Yeah.
Or like.
Okay, I
All
think
right.
this looks pretty good. Look at that! A magical horn of a unicorn.
Are you gonna wear it?
I don't
Or-
think I can get it. I already have
I'm
a
like,
horn on.
I
Why
don't
don't you
know.
put it on?
I might be able to.
Let me help you. Okay,
Okay.
so let's do it this
I'll
way.
hold my head. You put the horn on.
Okay, and then actually you hold the horn here.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll do one
Oh.
of these.
Oh.
Oh. There you go.
I think
Oh.
this is made for little people.
Oh, actually, hold on.
Whew.
Let's try it
I
this
think
way.
maybe we're just over the top.
No, hold it right here. Again,
Oh,
I think
Hold-
it's all about leverage.
you got it.
Ooh, 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 ooh. There we go.
I like there.
We did it!
stay.
Yay! We both have unicorn horns
Yes.
now. That looks
What do you
wonderful.
think?
I love it.
Yes.
And it matches your
It does.
makeup.
It matches everything.
Yes.
We didn't even plan that.
Oh, we just knew. We just
Magic.
knew. Well, this was really fun to make a craft with you.
It was fun.
Yes.
Should we make more?
Yeah. Why don't we make more, and then you guys can listen to Miss Bonnie Violet tell a story. Does it sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds great. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. See you
Bye.
later.
We have another special guest today. We have Miss Bonnie Violet, who's going to read another book to us today. Can everyone clap your hands really loud for Miss Bonnie Violet? She's another beautiful unicorn. Look at that.
Yes, this is my friend Miss Bonnie Violet. I don't know if you know why I invited her. Why do you think I invited her? Probably because she has so much sparkle, just like a unicorn. It's the first person I thought of when it comes to unicorns. She's gonna read us to us a book. What's the book called?
Hi everyone. Say hi back. Makes me feel less nervous. What's up? Yeah? Lots of stones, huh? So I'm reading Manolo and the Unicorn. Yeah, I'll show you. Manolo and the Unicorn by Jackie Kramer and Jonah Kramer. I think it's a mother and son who wrote the book. All right, to Manolo, the world was a magical place. On his way to school, Manolo caught lively ladybugs and counted their spots. He fed dandelions to a curious rabbit and stopped to listen to a chorus of noisy frogs. But he always looked out for the most magical creature of all, a unicorn. Wild and graceful and extraordinary. Can you see the unicorn? Yeah, sitting on the unicorn. All right. Let's make get my fingers to work. In a journal stuffed with sketches, scribbles, and samples, Manolo took notes of any signs of a unicorn. Tracks by the unicorn. We got unicorn snacks, a unicorn mane, all kinds of signs of a unicorn. He heard the school bell ring, slipped his magnifying glass in his pocket, and raced into class. As his teacher made morning announcements, tomorrow is a wild animal parade. Are we ready to share our favorite animal?
Yeah.
Yeah? What's your favorite animal? Say it out loud.
Panda.
Yeah? Panda? Nice.
Lion.
Lion, great. Sounds from the wilderness filled that classroom. Roar, hiss, screech, chirp, snort, neigh. I'm going to be a koala. Peacocks are the prettiest. Lions are the strongest. I'm going to be a unicorn, Manolo said.
Ooh, unicorn.
Unicorns aren't real. Boys don't like unicorns. I do, he replied.
You don't like this one.
He does though, huh? Manolo's classmates snickered and ran off to play on the jungle gym, leaving him all alone. Oh, he's kind of sad
Why too sad?
because people didn't think he should like a unicorn, but he likes unicorns.
I can see your eyes now.
You can see my eyes now? Now the world felt ordinary. Maybe they are right, he said, to the lonely ladybugs and the puzzled rabbit and the chorus of frogs now sadly silent. Maybe unicorns aren't real. What's that? They are real, right? All right. Look at there. Then Manolo heard sharp snap of a twig and the crunch of leaves. Manolo remembered what he read about unicorns and bowed his head. All right. Manolo grabbed a hold of the unicorn's mane and they galloped deep into the forest. Hopped right on the unicorn, ready to go for a ride. Woohoo! Wherever the unicorns went, the flowers opened wider, the trees stood taller, and the sun shone brighter. Manolo learned to gallop swiftly and gracefully with the unicorns, leap across lakes, and forage for wild nettle and mint. The unicorns welcomed Manolo as one of them. With a quick swish of the unicorn's tail, a shimmery strand as light as air and as strong as iron fell into his hand. Got a little mane here.
Ooh.
All right, look at all those unicorns.
Whoa.
Around a crackling fire, they feasted on wildflower honey, and the world was magical once again. Manolo looked up at the morning star and thought about home. He wanted to share this magic with everyone. The bright light of a new day woke Manolo. In his hand, he found the gift from the unicorn. He jumped out of bed and quickly began to cut, glue, and sew his costume. Look, he's making a unicorn costume. Do you need help, Manolo? No thanks, I can do this. Alright, so it's the day of the Wild Animal Parade. The festive menagerie posed in their costumes. Manolo shook his silky mane, he swished his shimmery tail, and bowed his head, crowned with a shiny horn. A horn like a lot of you guys have on, huh? Alright. Tell us about unicorns, Manolo, his teacher said. Manolo's heart raced as he looked out at all the wild things. A unicorn will only reveal itself to those who are pure of heart. Unicorns live in a secret place by a waterfall, and a strand of a unicorn's tail is as strong as iron. Manolo's classmates stared in silence. All right. Then one hand slowly stretched in the air. Are unicorns hard to find? Not if you know how to see them. Does a unicorn horn have special powers? I want to meet a unicorn. Can we go together? Soon the classroom echoed with chatter and laughter, and oohs and ahs. Well, looks like they're all having a good time. So in a forest of wild animals led by a unicorn, the flowers opened wider, the trees stood taller, and the sun shone brighter. And so did Manolo.
Wow.
The end.
All right. Thank you very much, Ms. Bonnie Bandes. That's a beautiful book. I love that. Just somebody Manolo is believing in unicorns so much, and kind of struggled a little bit because his friends didn't believe him, and had a great experience, a magical experience, and came back and brought that magic back to share with his friends who started to believe. That is a really cool use of your imagination and your belief. Okay? So we've got one more song we're gonna do with Rabbi Sarah and Miss Callie. Before we do that though, we're gonna learn some more signs. So I know it's sign heavy, it's lots of them. So let's welcome back Mr. Zay. Yay! All right. Do you need a reminder of what maybe?
Sorry, I was really focusing on the unicorns and forgot all the other animals were there.
Okay, so.
Okay, I remember the first one. Alligator. Alligator. Do you know why? Can you guess
Why would
why?
that be an alligator?
They have long tails.
Big eyes.
No.
They have a big mouth.
Yeah.
Yes,
Big
very
mouth.
big mouths. Second animal, a goose or geese. So they have a very long neck. Camel. We make a C for camel and we're going to do the humps. Their back has humps. Chimpanzee. And I'm sure you know chimpanzee. Can you guess the sign? Chimpanzee, monkey. There you go. And cat.
We learned this one before. Yeah.
Rat. You're going to make an R, the letter R. And on their little tiny nose, they always wiggle. Elephant. Elephant. Why? Why would that be elephant? Very big trunk.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you know all those signs now, right? Do you want to review them? We're going to use them in the next song. So
And we're gonna use them a lot.
yeah, we're going to use them a lot. So
Mr.
let's-
Zay could probably help us.
Yep, I can help.
Perfect.
all right. So let's let them take the stage.
All right, yes, we're gonna sing another song. This is I like this song because it offers an explanation as to why unicorns aren't that common, but are definitely still around, as we know. Of course. And we're gonna use all the signs that we just learned. Does that sound fun? Okay, so pay attention to Mr. Zay and Mr. Aaron.
Long time ago, when the earth was green, there were more kinds of animals that you've ever seen. They run free while the earth was being born, but the loveliest of all was the unicorn.
There was green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. But the Lord seen some sinning and caused some pain. He said, "Stand back, I'm gonna make it rain." He said, "Hey, brother Noah, I'll tell you what to do. Build me a floating zoo. Take those green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all is the unicorn."
So Noah was there, and he answered the call. And he finished up the ark just as the rain started to fall. And he marched in the animals, two by two, and he sang down his hair and flew. There was
Green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees. There were cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. Wow, the unicorn's beauty was slowing things down. As all the animals stopped, some even bowed down. The ark was gonna leave with no one inside. The unicorns decided to hide from those green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpty-back camels and some chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn.
So Noah looked out through the driving rain. He thought those unicorns were playing silly games, but their magic had hid them well. Don't you look forlorn? They're still hiding from us, but they're those beautiful unicorns. There are green
Alligators and long-necked geese, humpty-back camels and chimpanzees, cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all is the unicorn. Yay!
Oh my gosh, you guys, that was fun. Help me up, help me up. Whew. All right, well, we have Mr. Zay here today with us. We have Miss Kim with us today. We have Miss Callie. We have Rabbi Sarah, and we have Miss Bonnie Violet in the back. Thank you so much. We have Ms. Kai as well, Ms. Kai as well, with crafts today. So.
And Mr. Aaron!
Oh, there you
Oh,
Thank you.
okay, so you're gonna remember all the signs that you learned for next time, right? Okay, we're gonna have a review next time.
Yes, absolutely. They would run through the meadow. That looks like fun. Again, why I want to be a unicorn. Feel the wind through your hair? Yeah. Touchy subject. We have a question.
I have a question. I would like to request the signs for Red Panda and Lion.
Oh, Brett, Mr. Zay, how do we sign Red Panda and Lion?
So panda's a little bit weird to sign. Red, the color red. And then a lot of people will just say bear. Because there's all different kinds of bears. So it would be finger spelled if it's specific like panda. Yeah, so then the one sign would be bear. Then lion, the big lion.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Lion.
We've learned a lot of animal signs today. Goodness.